Hello. Woo. Coloring was a little bit off. But hi, I'm Annie, and I am taking advantage of the completely empty house right now to do an updated intro video. I made actually I did a few takes before, a lot of takes actually, now that I look at the sidebar, and I did one that was really nice, but it was like going on 20 minutes. That was a little bit ridiculous. I'm an admin on Caution. I have been for about 5 months now, since the beginning of the year. I never expected it. I just always thought I'd sit in global status, which I really dug because I actually got to stick my nose in everyone's business, and that's really my favorite thing. I'm making a great first impression, aren't I? Um, but yeah, it's still kind of surreal sometimes, and like I don't know. It's weird. It's like when you move from middle school to high school, it's like this is really weird, but after a while it's like there, but then when you think about it, it's still really weird. Um so I don't really know what to tell you guys. I feel like a lot of the videos take a specific um order, so I can tell you a little bit how I got into role playing. It was on Neopets. It was later than I care to admit because I was like 17 or something. But I never did like the role playing like chat forum. Um, there were so many restrictions, and you can only write like 200 characters. Not even 200 words. I write 200 word posts now, but 200 characters really. Um, so I actually moved off site. Really, it was through the guilds, the clubs, and moved off site really quickly actually to Envision Free, and then from there, um, I found, like non-Neopets affiliated sites, and I went to that, and I couldn't figure out how the plot ads worked at all. And I just sat there for 2 hours trying to figure out how do I do this. And of course, by the time I got a hang of it, we started doing plotters like we do now. We, we're a little community. Um, so yeah, I did Envision Free for a few years, and then I spent maybe probably a year and a half being on a semi hiatus, not by choice or because I was too busy, but because I couldn't find anywhere that I fit in. I kept joining sites and I kept getting ignored, which sucked a lot. I think it was at that point where basically if you didn't have a One Tree Hill face, I hated you. Well, no one has a One Tree Hill face anymore. Um, that's actually when I decided to join Caution and become active in the community, and that's probably the reason I'm still role playing to this day. And also because of Caution, there's a role play discussion topic about the benefits of JSync, which is up and coming at this point, and I think maybe only a handful of people had heard about it. I thought it was interesting, so I looked into it. I made a site on it, and I never will go back. At first, I said I would never admin non-JSync, but now I'm not even going to be on a non-JSync site. That sounds really mean. You have to really impress me with an Envision Free site, and no words ever. Um, I've done mostly all Harry Potter. One band site, one real life site. I've tried to join a few, but I just always felt kind of weird, which sucks because it's not that I dislike the idea of real life um sites at all. I love the idea, and there's so much that real life can you can do on real life sites that you're limited on Harry Potter just because of their lack of Muggle technology. Um, but I was just never able to find one. I've always really wanted to do a Greek row, Greek life, whatever you want to call it, just based on fraternities and sororities. The one I did join was really great, and I had a fantastic character using Jack Quaid, but it died really quickly, which is sad, and I haven't really looked into it since then. But Harry Potter, I do post Potter, Next Generation, whatever you want to call it, Harry's Kids. Almost exclusively, I've ran one trio era site, which is actually fantastic. It took place 2 or 3 years after Harry defeats Voldemort. Spoilers. Can you even count that as a spoiler? I don't think so. Um, but yeah, so I did that one and ran for about 7 or 8 months, which was really fun. But since then, I've stayed pretty much exclusively post Potter, and I like to run my own sites more than join them, to be quite honest. Um, it's kind of the control freak in me. I've spent a lot of time finding things I don't like about how people approach a site, or even you approach it a proper way, but then problems crop up, and I like figuring out how to nip it in the bud, how to avoid it. I had a lot of problems with people like being inactive all month and then coming up because they know the last week of the month is activity check time and they pop in for that and then just leave again, which sucks if you're hoarding face claims. So that's when I started using the prune option, and just other things like that. Um, in terms, so I talked about role playing. I don't want to talk about faces I like, partially because there's a lot of them, and partially because I don't like saying them out loud. Like I read all of these faces, but I don't. I mean, you hear them in interviews and stuff, the names, but I feel really uncomfortable if I like mispronounce someone and you guys will all laugh at me. I hate seeming like I seem like feeling like I seem ignorant. That sentence doesn't even make sense. But I'm like that kind of person that if you reference something and I don't get it, I like Google it really quickly. I'm like, oh, haha, yeah, I totally know what you're talking about. No, there's very few things I'll admit that I don't know about. Um, but yeah, so personally, I like had this list of things I talked about like personally because I went into a little rant about how I like hearing about people like when I read or I see intro videos. Like it's cool that you started a Neopets. That's really cool. Solidarity, yo. But I the stories are all really pretty similar, and I really like getting to know people as people. So I like hearing about people's personal quirks and stuff, which is why I'm trying to include those things I just don't think I'm very interesting. I have literally like one interesting fact that I always use when you have to introduce yourself, like, hi, introduce yourself, and tell us one interesting thing about yourself. I'm like, I was born in Romania, Transylvania, which means I get live really awkward vampire jokes. There was this really creepy kid. I love I love telling this story because he's such a weirdo. He followed me around at a party once. Literally, we were like, I think I was like 20, something like that. Like definitely like past like that early high school, middle school age. He had his friend come up and be like, "Do you like that boy?" And I'm like, "No." He like comes up to my shoulder and I'm 5'4". Sorry. Um. Uh. Yeah, but then he kind of like wiggled his way between me and my friend. There's like a group of us outside smoking hookah, but he just kind of like wiggles between me and my friend, and he just like makes weird comments about sucking and vampires. It was really uncomfortable. Um, so yeah, I was born in Romania, in Transylvania. I lived there about 5 years or so. I vaguely remember it, but mostly I remember when from like vacations and stuff. Then we moved to Germany. I lived there for 2 years, and then I've been in Ohio ever since. So I pretty much just say I grew up in Ohio. I mean, I was 8 when I moved here. If that doesn't constitute growing up, I don't know really what does. I went to I went to school only like 40 minutes away, which I did live away from home, which is nice. Um, Super addicted to coffee. I drink it every day, but lost my gold star privileges. I've said it like 6 times because I've done this video, and I kind of just am saying the same thing over again in different ways. But I'm still upset that I lost my gold star privileges. And I drink coffee at least like one, probably 2 cups a day. I just don't go to Starbucks to do it. I just brew my own coffee, which is really nice, but also really sad because now I'm green level. Um, TV shows. I don't think I mentioned TV shows yet. I'm 9 minutes already. Whew. Okay. My main TV shows that I watch right now and that I have not given up on or consider giving up on are Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Orphan Black. I love them a lot. And shows I'm considering giving up are Teen Wolf because I'm still so angry over that last season. I get into like really passionate like rants with my friends, and there's a few. Thankfully, most of my friends like share my most of my sentiments. I butt heads a little bit with our OTPs, people that love Scott and Allison, die hard Allison and Isaac, forever. I just pretty much assumed that Allison and Isaac ran off to raise their love child in France. And now, okay, so I am actually that really lame person that will put up with shitty shows. Sorry for swearing on, but with crappy shows or movies just to see that actor I love. And now that Daniel Sharman's going to be on the originals, I have to get into that universe, even though I really don't like the Vampire Diaries at all. My best friend banned me from watching them. I was such a brat. She would be watching it, and I'd be like, well, why is that? Why is that going on? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And she's just like, get out, go to your room. Um, but shows I did give up on, Game of Thrones, I stopped just maybe 2 or 3 episodes into season 3. I really was disliking the the arc they were giving Rob. I felt it was really um off, and it really butchered his character. Not intended. Um, just the way they went with it, I didn't like it at all. And then not a TV show, but I was into the Hunger Games for a while. Probably if you remember far back enough, I had a few Hunger Games themed usernames on Caution. Not really digging anymore. I really fell out of the fandom, not for a specific reason, like I didn't like something, but mostly there was that lull in activity after the first movie came out, and we didn't get anything for about the second movie, and all the books were out, and there was no more interest, and I just faded out. Um, and then of course Harry Potter, like you can't get away from Harry Potter, and honestly, people that say they've never read or seen the movies, how do you exist? Sorry, like I know people get really feisty, like you don't have to like Harry Potter, but in my opinion, you do. You have to like Harry Potter. Um, I like to read, but unfortunately, I haven't found anything new to read in a while. And there's a lot of books um, that I'm tempted to try. Like I try to read the Mortal Instruments. I got like a page in. Um, all of these books that are being turned into movies. Oh, maybe I'll go try and read them, but I'm not really digging them. Um, they're Yeah, so I haven't really read anything new. I usually just grab a Harry Potter book or one of the Song of Ice and Fire books and just read that a little bit. Um, what else do I do for fun? I'm like, what else do I do for fun? I don't do anything for fun. My pets though, I actually have one dog, a tortoise, and 2 cats, but my cats don't live with me. My cats, Griffin and Phoenix. We rescued Phoenix from an animal shelter, and Griffin we actually found as a tiny little kitten. He was so little that when my roommate put him in a duffel bag and gave him to me, I thought she was giving me an empty duffel bag. But he was a stray feral cat in the area that had snuck into one of the dorm buildings and was like screeching on the couch. Um, so Griffin and Phoenix live with my roommate, my old roommate in Virginia. I'm in Ohio, so that's sad. And then my dog is technically named Demon, and I don't really like telling people that. Why'd you name your dog Demon? It's like the dumbest thing ever, and it is kind of dumb. We just call her Dusty, honestly. It's like it's more her real name than her real name. And then a tiny little tortoise. I call him a turtle, but he's technically a tortoise named Little Buddy, and he hates me a lot. And he always thinks I'm trying to kill him when I'm feeding him. Um, yeah, those are my pets. I tried so hard. I tried to sneak my roleplay characters into people's pets' names. I'll be like, "Hey, name your character Eli. Not your character. Name your crap, move out my I'm gonna pause this for like pause. Wow. Okay. Wow. So that was probably a really weird jump, and I'm going to cringe when I see it. I had to plug my computer, and I went into the last 10 minutes, and it's never the last 10 minutes. But yeah, I tried to get my characters' names kind of squished into like my friends' pet names. Name your cat Eli. Name your cat Eli. Why Eli? I don't know. I just like the name. Not like I have a little psychopath named Eli. Um, it's coming up on 15 minutes, and I don't really want to rant and rave about anything else. I do just want to add that um I think I'm really friendly, and I am pretty much up for a conversation with anyone. Um anyone who watches this, not just like directed at staffers or anything, although I think the vast majority of the video views are by other staffers because we're all like nosy little, we're all just nosy little brats. Um, but just, I made myself lead. Just basically, I suck at talking to people. Like chances are I've probably added you on AIM if like for some reason there was an exchange of AIM or if a new staffer comes in I just like add everyone. But I don't talk to you and at first like in the beginning, like if it's just been an exchange of like, hey, I'm adding you to AIM, well, hi, here I am. But if it's been a few weeks, I just feel really awkward and like, how do I say hi after a month and a half? Um, so you can always send me stuff on Tumblr or on AIM, and I respond. No, that's a lie. No, I do respond, but I don't want to say I respond all the time, and then like you don't get a response, and wow, I don't hate anyone mostly. I hate Joffrey, but that's legit, right? You can hate Joffrey. Um, Numbridge. Um, Sometimes, especially with AIM, I'm really good at it. Or Skype, you can add me on Skype too. I don't like keep my Skype like just for real life because no one Skypes me. Or if they do, it's like on an iPad and I hate it. Um, but yeah, AIM, Skype. Don't add me on Twitter. All I do on Twitter is complain about Chipotle. Like actually, if you look at my tweets, they're all like Chipotle sucks. This line's really long. Give me my burrito. Um, I think I covered my video. Roleplay cats, coffee, and Harry Potter. Me in a nutshell. Yeah, add me on AIM, add me on Tumblr, bug me, please bug me. I'm actually, what I was trying to say is I'm really bad at responding to things on Tumblr sometimes. Um, but just keep annoying me. I am that person that will like, I will like every one of your selfies that I see because I love selfies. And I will comment on all of your text posts. And I love it when you respond back or anyone responds back because I feel like what I hate more than anything is like when someone like that's considered like Tumblr famous posts something and you respond to it with like the little speech bubble option and they just don't respond back like wow thanks. I feel like a little ant beneath your shoe. Um, that got off track really quickly and I'm at 18 minutes again, but I am going to sign off now. Please don't ever hesitate to talk to me or message me. I always say in intros like just always talk to me and fangirl with me. Like that's true. Don't be scared by me. I'm the weirdest little thing ever. So you can be scared by me, but you should also talk to me. Mwah!